Okay, so this is JFK, specifically the director's cut on 4K Blu-ray disc with DTS HD 5.1 audio. The movie, I mean, this is a masterpiece of a film. I mean, I absolutely love this movie. And it's another one of those films that I always forget to put in my favorite movies list. So someone says, oh, what's your favorite top 10? My usual response is, well, I've got a top 50. And yet I'd always sort of forget to kind of incorporate this. And yet it's a fantastic movie. And whilst, you know, you can debate all day long about the truthfulness of the subject matter, and people have, I don't think when you're watching this, it matters, because this is the definition of an absorbing, engrossing movie that may or may not be true. And this is released, this is the American version. It is not out over here. I had to import it. It's the Shout, I think Shout Factory release.
Shout,
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout Select, I think.
Yeah, that's the one. It comes in a giant box. You've got the director's cut in 4K. And it arrived over Christmas and into the new year, and it turned up from the States. So the director's cut is the only one in 4K. And I read an interview with Oliver Stone, who said, you know, he's had approval on the transfer of this. And he said Shout could only really sensibly afford to do either the theatrical or the director's cut in 4K. The other one was going to be the Blu-ray. And he said, look, well, if we're going to do it, let's do the director's cut, which they don't always do. So I'm very, very glad we did, because this is a director's cut that needs to be seen. This is the way to see JFK. All 3 hours and 18 minutes of it. But unlike a movie we're going to talk about later, the 3 hours and 18 minutes of this flies by in the blink of an eye, because this movie starts and does not stop. It is just bang, bang, bang. And you can see why Nolan talked about this as his inspiration for Oppenheimer, because these two could be sister movies. You know, they're so similar in terms of how they ratchet up the tension and keep it going. So yeah, it's a masterpiece, this movie. I absolutely adore this film. And it was an absolute treat to watch it again on the biggest screen I've seen it on, because when it came out, I was in Spain, so I've never seen this in the cinema. So I was watching on the biggest screen I could see it on in DTS HD 5.1, and I had a great time. So that's the film. No spoilers. Actually, what happened to JFK? I probably shouldn't say that. Anyway,
we don't know yet.
Yeah, is he still president?
They haven't released it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah. So the in terms of the video, so this has been original camera negative remastered. Now, where it is quite challenging, it looks great. I mean, I'll tell you that, but it is a very challenging movie to remaster, because there's so many different film stocks used. You've got black and white, you've got color. Sound familiar? Oppenheimer. You've got black and white, you've got color. You've got some dreamlike sequences. Lots of it's been shot in very harsh light and very soft focus. You know, where you've got light coming either directly from below or directly above. And it is soft focus at times, so it does look quite dreamlike, and that can be problematic. And so at times it is soft, it's a little hazy, but other times it's razor sharp and looks great. It's never distracting. It's exactly how, well, Oliver Stone wanted it to look, and it looks great. So it looks really good. What I wasn't prepared for is just how good it sounds. Now, I have listened to it before. I had the Blu-ray, and I watched the Blu-ray, but I don't recall it ever sounding as good as this. Upmixed to Neural X, admittedly, but it is an exceptional sound mix. There's a really fun, right from the beginning, you get audio go right around the room, things bouncing, you know. But there's a fun little bit early on in the movie where Jim Garrison, Kevin Costner, is in a bar. Oh, careful what I say about the scene, you know, don't want to say too much about what happens. But in a bar doing something, there is
drinking.
I don't know if you caught this, Deej, when you saw it. Yeah. Well, drink. Spoilers, Deej. He's in a bar doing something, and there's this little shot where the camera moves, and moves around the bar, and someone has got a cough in the bar, and the cough goes, and they cough. I think it's 4 times, and the cough goes from rear left, halfway down the wall, front left, and then to the center channel. And it was really, I was like, whoa, did that really happen? And I put it back and played it back, and I was like, oh, yeah. It's cough
back
dancing.
and to the left. Back and to the left.
Yeah, the magic cough theory. So it was, yeah. So that was really unexpected. And then you get storms and you get thunder. Quite a lot of this movie takes place into the sea, and all that's
Carl Ellsworth's ears just perked up.
Yes, perked up. Yeah. Well, Carl liked my tweet that I put out about this. I'm sure Carl would love this. Yeah. And so it sounds great, and there's always something going on in the speakers. And for a movie that is a drama and is dialogue driven, I was not expecting it to be such an enveloping mix. And at times, it is awesome. So I was really, really pleased with that. This is a great disc, a very nice set, and well worth picking up. I mean, really should if you can. It's not cheap. It cost me Lawrence of Arabia money almost to get it from the US, because I wanted it as soon as it came out mid-December, and like literally the day it came out, I'd ordered it, and so I'd be paying full price as well. And then obviously it's a big set, so it's going to cost a bit. But it's fantastic, and I'm so glad I've got it. And so, it's well worth picking up. And I think just about everybody loves this movie. There's not many people that don't. And I think if you want to see it as good as it's ever looked and sounded, this is the way to do it. I loved it. So anyway, Deez, what did you think? It sounds like you've got it. Have you? You've got the set?
I don't have the I don't have the 4K version yet from Shout. In preparation, I was hoping to have it before today's show. I was hoping to have it before this weekend, but it's coming in hopefully this week. Should be here. It might be here now. So I went through. I didn't watch beginning to end of the. I have the director's cut on Kaleidescape, but it's just the HD DTS Master Audio, which I jumped through to different scenes. I probably watched almost the whole thing, like an hour of it, but scanning through it just to see in prep, because I want to see I want to experience what the differences could be, especially with the picture and the 4K and everything. I thought the sound was really good already in what I have here. And if I have it in time for next week, I'll have it for my full comparison for next week's show. But I found it, like everything you said, is like, I'm hoping that the 4K version it enhances what we already know, right? Like the different film stock, the different lighting. Some scenes are darker, or lighter. But yeah, I thought the sound was really good. So I'll be interested to see if there's a noticeable improvement, or if it was just that, okay, our systems are better and we're taking relatively the same audio and we've just upped it ourselves, which tends to happen too. So that'll be interesting. But you're right. It's such a good movie. I remember I can't tell you how many times I watched this back when it came at home, just because I've always been fascinated with the entire event itself. And but yeah, and then this interpretation of it from Oliver Stone, I thought is just it's a masterpiece. It's the monologue, Costner's monologue is the kind of thing that lawyers watch and go, because most of the time you see movies in courtroom scenes and it's like, that's just nonsense. It's just not what would happen. That's not a lawyer. But the way Costner delivers that is awesome. I mean, it's the kind of thing, like I said, lawyers like me look at that and go, that's how I would deliver that. That's how I would intone that. That's how you would bring that forward. And the last little bit of that monologue is the stuff of cinema legend. Just a lot. What Costner does, spoiler free, is a very clever little thing. And I don't think, I did check and look on IMDb, I don't think it was scripted, and I don't think Stone told him. I think he did it off his own bat, and it's just awesome. It's a very cool thing to do. It's just a little thing that you can easily miss. If you're watching this in your front room on your little TV, you're not even going to notice it happens. But if you watch this on a sizable screen, it's a very cool little thing. And again, I'm dancing around that deliberately, but it's very, very good. So yeah, I called it a masterpiece on Twitter. It is a masterpiece. And again, a film that I keep forgetting to say is one of my favorite. It is awesome.
What did you think of it, John? I mean, you've seen it, I assume. Do you own it on Blu-ray or?
I don't own it. I have seen it. I don't know that I've ever seen the director's cut though. Because I don't own it on longer. I don't own it on Blu-ray. So I mean, anytime I've seen this, it's probably been HBO. You know, it's probably been on one of the streaming services. So, but yeah, I love the movie. But I'm looking at the 4K set right now. So
yeah, it's
megabucks.
Yes,
it's $45 on Amazon.
$45,
I mean,
yeah.
It's not crazy, but
but
you know,
Steve
it is
you get a lot for it.
Steve Att in the chat saying, never watched the movie. Sad memories of that day still remain. Visiting the grassy house and the book depository was tough. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm that way with Patriot Day. And what's that? Wahlberg, right?
Patriots
Day or Patriot Day.
Yeah.
Whatever
Patriot
it is.
Day, yeah.
And I can see it. What was the one Gyllenhaal did for the Boston Marathon bombing? Gyllenhaal, what was the name of that one?
Don't know. I didn't know he did one.
Yeah. No, yeah, he did that one, and I haven't been able to watch that, but I want to. He plays an actual, oh man, now I'm an idiot. I can't remember who it was, but they filmed part of it at the Garden at one of the Bees games I was at. They needed the crowd to stay to shoot a shot, and Gyllenhaal, that was pretty cool. That one there is more realistic because it's based off an actual person from that day. The Patriot Day one is, I just don't, it's a glorified version with a made up fictional character. And I was like, I'm not saying you shouldn't see it. I'm just saying I can't take part in that. I just don't like that. And but I get it, right? I understand you're going to make movies off this stuff and that's fine. But you know, I appreciate what you're saying, Steve. So, all right. Let's see what else. Anything else on JFK Director's Cut in 4K?
Just buy it if you can.
Thanks for watching this clip from our live stream. If you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you can get the alerts on when we go live and when more clips come out. And don't miss out on the audio-only podcast that comes out on Tuesdays called Takeover Tuesdays, where listeners take over the show. I have other guests, and we just chat home theater. You can find it on any podcast streamer that you use. Thanks for watching. Hope to hear from you in the comments. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.